know.
Just start going right now. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
Just fucking start it now. Like,
So,
why
Llama,
not?
how did you get into Destiny 2? Or, well, just Destiny in general?
Okay, yeah. So I started playing like right at the beginning. I think I joined Destiny 1 like maybe like a month after it came out. It's like back in 2014. It was like my first like proper game because like my parents are like pretty strict with like video games and stuff, and like I had to do like a lot of work convincing them to allow them to get me Destiny. It was a 16 in the UK. It was a 16, and I think I was how old was I? I was like 13, so it was a stretch trying to convince them. Um, oh shit, I've got the wrong grenade on. But yeah, so I started in Destiny 1, and I played Destiny 1 like pretty casually
Mhm.
for most of it. Um, and beginning of Destiny 1, it was also pretty casual. Or Destiny 2, sorry. And I never really took it serious. I only really sort of started taking the game like serious like when Beyond Light came out around that time.
Yeah.
Because I still played on console like all the way up until Shadowkeep. Shadowkeep is when I switched to PC. So yeah,
Hey, we switched to PC around the same time.
nice, good stuff.
I switched
Nice, nice,
over
nice.
at Season of Dawn, so like right at the
Oh
tail
yeah,
end.
yeah.
What got
So
you hooked into Destiny?
hooked. I don't know, mate. It's just I think it was just how it was. It was a combination of it being like the first game that I'd like properly sunk my teeth into, and
Mhm.
then I enjoyed doing like content with friends, like raids and stuff like that. Like doing Vault of Glass with the gang, and like it's funny because like one of my friends at school, they were like, "Oh, it's like how I heard about it." It's like, "Oh, have you heard about this game? Like, yeah, we need 6 players for this thing. It's called like Vault of Glass. Yeah, we need a Titan player." And I was like, "What's a Titan? What's Destiny?" I looked up some trailers and like the game looked like sick and stuff. So that's basically got me into it. And it's what also made me like a Titan main for like the majority of Destiny 1. But I've switched up now. I'm on the Warlock side. But yeah,
Everyone switches eventually.
yeah. Where did
My
you start actually?
so I started really late into D1. I think I started like end of House of Wolves
Oh yeah,
because
yeah,
I just got a PS3 and it was just one of the games that I had with it. And
yeah,
so
yeah.
I just started playing it. And then I took a long break after the April update and just didn't play it. I played Dark Souls for most of that. And
Oh yeah, mate.
then
I
I
love Dark
came
Souls.
I came back probably 2 months after Destiny 2 launched. And
Hmm.
then I started playing that quite frequently and got into raiding because back in D1, I barely did any raids and I was like the worst player you could imagine. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't get my first D1 Kingsfall clear until like probably the launch of
like
Forsaken.
Age of Triumph. Oh, Forsaken. Oh,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, it was that bad. Um, and I think I got a bunch of tower LFGs. Like I was in the tower messaging people, and I was
Oh,
like,
I
"Oh,
know
I
the
didn't hit the
struggle.
load zone."
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I went to the tower and was like, "Kingsfall? Question mark? Kingsfall? Please?"
Yeah, mate, I know. Like, 'cause there was a point during COVID, like where me and my mates we went back into Destiny 1 just to like replay all of it.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, like LFG was a struggle because like I had to join this like random Discord server. I think it was called like the Last Destiny City or something. It's like a Destiny 1 specific LFG. I think I'm still in it. I just have it muted. But then like yeah, finding random tower LFGs like the people that we did do the raids with, we added
Oh
them
my
and like
goodness,
saved them
yep.
for later because they were like our only links to like actually be able to play raids.
Yeah, but I did not really do raids in Destiny 1 personally, and then D2
Yeah.
comes around and I felt like my in was going into guided games. So I would
Yeah.
wait like the hour-long queue on PS4 and just sit there until I
Yeah.
found a team, and then I would just
Oh
do
my
the
God.
raid. And then God, I'm messing up the skip. Uh then after I got a little bit more comfortable, I started using the app and started to
Yeah.
implement strategies that I saw like Glad and like all those
Yeah,
review
yeah,
guys
yeah,
doing
yeah,
in
yeah,
speed
yeah.
runs into my base gameplay, and then I just started continuing to raid. Like my whole goal was like get clears, get clears, get better, get better.
Yeah.
I just had this whole mindset of going and going and going.
Yes, yes. The growth mindset.
And then it just kept going until about Scourge, when I met what was supposedly like the top rating clan on PS4 at the time, and then I was like,
Uh-huh.
okay, yep, I'm going full send, and then I just kept going and kept raiding.
Nice. Yeah,
Um, yeah, go ahead,
that's saying that's what I love about the game really. It's just like the raids and stuff. Like that's my jam. That's my jam. That's my bread and butter.
dude. Raids are so fun. Like
Yeah.
everything
Dude, there's
about
no other
them.
game. There's no other game that has stuff like that. Like I swear. Like maybe like WoW and stuff like that, you know. But there's no
Well,
like
I feel like
FPS.
WoW is a little bit different. I feel like it's
Yeah.
much more like, I don't know, strategic in a way. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah. No, neither. I can't put my finger on it, but yeah, you're right.
It's definitely different. Like the raids in Destiny are not like any other game.
No, mate. Especially.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I I like every aspect of it. I like the mechanics to them. I like the small little details that they add.
Mm.
They're good. So on your YouTube, I noticed that you have quite a few low man videos. What got you into
Yeah.
low manning?
Yeah, so it's all just like it all just came with like COVID and like the spare time that we had because basically it
Hmm.
was like I said with well Deepstone Crypt was my first like proper day one, and before that I hadn't really done any low mans. Like I wasn't really interested in that, but like that's when I decided to like take things like slightly more serious. And so after that it was like some of the guys from my team, we decided to like band together and like just do some low mans because this was like, Deepstone came out, when was it? It was like November 2020, so that was
Hmm.
like, height of COVID and stuff. So basically we spent like the next, however many months it was, just doing like low mans. I think we started with the easy ones like DSC and VOG and stuff. I just found it like really fun. It's just cool to do, especially because like trios, like, with two friends just like goofing around. And like, to me it's so satisfying when you actually complete them. I just love that, especially like a flawless slow man, like for the
Hmm.
hard ones. Like, I know, is it Wish is like one of the harder ones these days because all of my low mans are like stupidly old, like for the older raids. Like if I can
Oh
go on
yeah.
like raid report right now, like if you went on like what's the website by Doco? It's is it lowman.report, I
Oh, I
think.
don't know. I
Yeah,
don't
well,
use
there's
the.
like
I'm
a
not that guy of
there's
low
like
manning
a
that much.
yeah, well, there's a guy who's made a website, like it's a newer website, and like a lot of my tags just don't show up on there because they all reset after like the Witch Queen came out, or something like that. I can't remember
Hmm.
what it was, but like API changes or something. But yeah, if you look at like my flawless trio last wish, this was July 28th, 2021. So it was it was a long time ago, and like so many strats changed and stuff, but it was, yeah, it's just satisfying. I've actually like not done too many like recently. I
Hmm.
kind of fell off with them a bit. Like the most recent one I did was well, I did a lot of duo Tanics because I'm still trying to get duo flawless DSC,
Yeah.
but just keep getting fucked at Tanics. Um and
I'm pretty
I
sure
did.
Taniks is the hard part, right? If I remember
Yeah, yeah.
correctly from
Well, I
Duo.
mean, now like you have to three core descent as well, like because they patched the oob. Like the strategy beforehand, it was so odd. Like you had to just go out a map and like um delete a
Despawn them all.
core, like by yeah, like leaving and
Yeah,
rejoining and
yeah.
stuff. Like I wasn't really particularly a fan of that strategy, to be honest. So I like now that like three coring descent is the way to go, and it's not even that bad three coring descent. Um,
It's quicker
just
too.
with a bit of practice. Yeah, yeah, I think it is actually. Yeah, I mean, I can't remember the last time I did it the old way, but yeah, you're probably right. Um, yeah, there's only a few that I'm missing. I mean, I'm missing like all of the duo flawlesses, I guess. I don't have trio kings for, but I want to do that at some point. But no, I just like low mans, to be honest. Yeah, the good bits of challenge. I think that's where I think that's where like players go. Like once you've done like all the raids and stuff, and you want to keep playing, you want to scratch the itch, you want to improve and stuff. Like Lomance is like one of the first places you'll go. I feel anyway, because that's like at least what I did.
I
Because
think that's also
you
what
feel
I
like a good
did.
player.
I think
Mm.
that's also where I did what I did. I got most of my raids like consistent where I knew every role and knew how to make up for another player because I have like this rule of
Yeah.
thumb where I like to say like play for two or play for three. So like if anyone is lacking, I try to play for that extra amount.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah. I
then
get you.
I think I did Lowman's like shortly after Scourge came out. And so I kind of followed
Oh
that
yeah.
route
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah. Because
and then
I
started doing
wish
speeds.
I did those. I wish I did like the older Lomance. You know, like Duo Flawless Crown and stuff. Like I wish I'd
Mm-hmm.
got into them when those were still a thing because I miss those raids. Like Crown was one of my favorites, like out of the ones that got deleted. Even though I didn't really play it much, it was still like one of the ones that I liked a lot. And Scourge as well. Could you? What was Scourge like? Could you duo Scourge or
Yeah,
was
you
it?
could. Yeah.
Okay, well, the whole thing.
Yeah, you could do a full. You'd ball dupe at the start to
Oh
make
yeah,
that easier, and then the rest of it was just cake. You'd like one tank, and then
yeah, yeah,
it was just the boss.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
I think I used like this really shitty Eye of Soul when I was doing my duo runs, and I'd be on
yeah,
Tractor Cannon, and then the other guy was on Whisper.
yeah. All
It
right,
was
Whisper.
it was scuffed,
Yeah,
but it
yeah.
it worked. I
So
think
when
I
did you start taking the
done
game like more seriously?
uh like probably a month after Scourge because that's when I
Yeah,
actually started meeting like those good players and then just
yeah, yeah.
continuing to like go and just have that momentum where I was like can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, keep getting better, keep
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
better.
yeah, yeah. No, I get you. I get you.
So I think it was around there.
Mm,
Uh
nice.
and then when was it you said Beyond Light was when you started taking the game more
Yes, it was
seriously?
beyond like yeah. Because I mean, I tried to get like a. I was like half interested in getting like a day one Goss because like out of my group of friends, I was the one who like played Destiny the most or like cared the most, I suppose you could say.
Mhm.
Um, so I joined like some random like Goss day one LFG where they were on Sank. It was terrible. I stayed in it for like 2 hours and like we didn't
Oh
even
my
get to a
god.
damage phase. But like I wasn't even
Were you
like
on console
fully.
back then?
Uh, no, I don't think. No, I was on
Oh,
PC, but it
yeah.
was yeah,
It,
it was like the
dude.
first time that I'd actually used like mouse and keyboard to play Destiny, so I was probably
Mhm.
just really shit back
Oh
then.
yeah, that too, dude. It was so bad when I came to PC because my clan was doing Spire speeds and they needed one,
Mm.
and so I was like, "Yeah, I got you guys." And I could not play on PC, and I didn't have a working controller to put in for my PC, so I'm having to sit there with fucking Crimson to heal, and just like it's all bad.
Oh shit.
It's all bad.
Crimson. No, the console Crimson. That's
They
crazy.
clowned me for it like for months. They're like, dude, you had to use fucking Crimson Inspire. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
please. I was just fresh to PC, man. I
Yeah.
I barely knew how to worldline skate at this point on PC. Everything
Ah,
was
yes.
different.
World line skating. Yeah.
Because like sword skating on controller, you could just press your right bumper and A at the same time or X at the same time. But on PC, you'd have to like delay it a second. And so I had to get
Hmm.
used to that and then
Yeah,
like
yeah.
just get used to all the different ways to actually do my movement tech instead of the controller that I was so used to for like the last 2 years of
Yeah,
me
yeah, yeah.
playing
No.
Destiny and speedrunning it heavily. So I had to like completely relearn how to play.
Mm-mm. Yeah, yeah, I feel that.
So it was a
It's
disaster for me coming to PC at the start.
it's worth it though. It's worth it. It's so much better on
So
PC.
much better. Especially once you learn it, like you never want to go back.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
All right. So we already covered that you like to do Lowmans. What is your favorite class to play in Lowmans?
Um, right, let me think. Well, for most of them, I was on a Titan, I'm pretty sure. I can
Mm-hmm.
actually just go and check. Let me just go to like, because I know for my wish, I was on a Titan, because I think it was back when Bubble still gave, I think it was what, 35% instead of the 25 that it does now. So like it was still beneficial to have a Titan.
Hmm.
Um like for Bubble and stuff. Yeah, I'm always on a Titan in my older ones. Um yeah, so I guess Titan for that is what I preferred the most. Because I always played Titan. Wait, let me just go on like wastedondestiny.com. Let me look up the stats. Let me look up the stats. Um, in terms of playtime. Oh, did you ever delete your characters to make them female models?
Yes, I did. I deleted
Yes.
a male Titan that had like 600
Yes.
hours or something.
They are the worst offenders. Male Titans are the worst offenders.
Yeah, dude, their shoulders are so bulky.
Yeah,
I think I
exactly.
did it specifically for the Scourge arms because the Scourge arms were like extremely bulky on the male and they were like
Oh
nice
yeah,
and
yeah,
slim on
yeah,
the
yeah. No, you're
Titan
right.
female.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a Titan that so basically was this? I can't remember what it was. I think it was a hunter. Yeah, so I've got like 1,500 hours on Titan, about 1,000 hours on a Warlock. So Titan is one that I played the most. But like these days, I just kind of alternate between like what I feel like, to be honest. Well, mostly Warlock though, just because yeah, obviously what we're doing now, this fun shit, can't really do that on a Titan.
What do you mean?
So
You just bubble skate it?
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, dude, I tried to do that. I couldn't get it.
The
And I
bubble
can't be
skate
asked to get a
is like
macro for it.
tighter, I think.
Yeah, it's so tight the timing. And I've seen the new one that's been going around the what's it, the 1-2 punch
Oh,
like grapple
the strand
cancel.
one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 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 where like they grapple punch and with Synthos and
Yeah.
the lunge like freaks out.
I think it's 6 inputs. Like yeah, I
Six
don't want to
inputs?
I don't want to mess with that. Yeah, 6 inputs for a skate that's like I mean to be fair, it doesn't use your super or anything.
That's over half of
But
my fingers.
yeah, exactly. You got to do some remapping shit for that, I think.
No, I'm not remapping my controls for that
Yeah, yeah, no,
skate.
no, no, no. Exactly. Exactly. But yeah, it's been Titan mostly. What about you? Like, you been Warlock most of the time or something?
Honestly, it really depends. I mean, I feel like most of the time, yeah, Warlock, but I do enjoy Titan gameplay in Lowmans because they have
Mm.
a better arsenal, in my opinion, for like
Yeah, you got T
less
Crash.
people
You got
content.
what now? Now you've got like Banner of War, right? That shit's
Yeah,
just busted.
they also do
So
crazy damage with the Banner of War strand grapple.
yeah, 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 yeah. I remember because like I made this video. I made the video of like Blade Fury versus raid bosses, and that was crazy. That was before they patched it, though. To be fair, so that's not
Mhm,
representative of what it is now. But yeah, you've seen like all the solos and stuff that like. Oh,
mhm.
Did you saw the duo one phase Tanix, right? Did
Yeah,
you see that?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
did.
Did you know that that was like the bounty that I set?
Really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I'd set the low man bounty. Like I think I gave out it was like 50 quid to like each person, whoever could do it. Because I really wanted to see the duo one face Tanix because it had been done before, but it was by two guys. They skipped the blocking phase by dying to like reset the augment timer, and then it wasn't really like a clean kill. It was with galley chunking as well. So like it was different
Hmm.
circumstances. So I really wanted to see it like done again, clean with like the current meta and stuff. And yeah, it was
Hmm.
really cool to actually watch. But yeah, that Strand Titan goes crazy.
Yeah, I like it a lot. It does great damage. When I was farming Scarlet Keep yesterday,
Oh
I
yeah,
used it and it was actually mental. I was soloing the elevator rooms
yeah,
like
yeah,
relatively easy, and it was just awesome.
yeah, yeah. No,
It
I can
felt
imagine.
it felt like I was playing a regular Nightfall.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. What time did you get? Like when you were farming that? Any good ones?
It was just with LFGs. I think the best was like
All
a
right.
13-minute or something.
Yeah, that's good.
So
That's
so
good.
not too bad, but could have been faster.
Oh, there's the orb. Got to get it out
Yep.
of my system.
Finally, the 3 orb.
Yeah, there it is. Do you want to move locations or something? Like,
Oh yeah, sure.
where can we go? Where can we go? Um, what's there?
So what are some tips that you could give players who want to get into low manning?
Um. Oh, there's yours.
Yep.
I well, I wouldn't know where to start. I think having a reference of what you got to have all the good guns and shit. I think
Yeah.
like I know Aegis has like a speed run like shopping list and stuff, but that
Hmm.
I think that also applies to Lomans in a sense. Like just getting all the good guns that you need to like do damage as Loman. But I don't think there's anything like you need like specifically. I think it's just
Hmm.
like just the attitude to have fun and sort of do it. Yeah, the aim is just to have fun with your friends and stuff. Do that, and then if you really end up liking it, go for the flawless slow man, like for the challenge, because that's always pretty satisfying. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think you need? Is there something that you think that you had that you helped you out with low mans
I feel
specifically? I
like
don't know.
having some form of like guide personally, like when I did my
Oh
first
yeah.
couple of
Oh
Lowmans.
yeah. Fuck yeah. The servers. What's it?
Hmm.
Lowman Hub. Yeah. All the guides,
Hmm.
mate. The guides on there, they're so clean. They're so clean. They let you
Yeah,
actually explain everything. I love those guides.
the Google Docs are great.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Like respect to people who make those because they're so clean and like well
Hmm.
presented. Yeah, if they should honestly like just transfer that into like sixes because I love the graphics and stuff for those guides.
Hmm. I
Um.
think when I first did it, there wasn't any of those like docs and stuff because this is the ancient days of
Oh yeah,
Destiny,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
where
yeah, yeah,
where
yeah.
everything is like strat hidden. So what had were like people who would be like, okay, so this is what you need to do here, and then I just kind of follow what they were telling me to do, and kind of like
Mm,
listen to them closely, and then eventually get it. Because back in that time,
yeah.
I feel like Lowmans were probably harder, but it's probably just a different level of skill that I have now from then,
Mm,
personally. But having that person to show me what I could do instead of like a resource where I can read it instead was
yeah.
definitely harder because you'd have to perform in the moment instead of
Yeah, yeah,
being
yeah.
able to
You
read
didn't.
up on it.
There was nothing you could read on. Yeah, yeah, totally. Um. Yeah, I guess that's the advantage I had. So yeah, the guides, guns, and fuck me,
Friends
what else? Yeah, friends. That's it. Yeah, that would help. Having at least one so you can do the duos, and then having at least two so you can do the trios. Um,
must
because
have
yeah, like
friends.
yeah, yeah, like every raid in the game right now is at least is it like how do I phrase this? Like, there's none that require four people, right? Or am I
Hmm.
tripping? Maybe there's yeah,
No,
because you can do all of them trio. Yeah.
yeah, all of them are
Mm,
trioable. Only one that Destiny 2 had that wasn't fully trioable. Oh, well, no,
it
there's
was
a
Spire,
couple.
right? Was it Spire?
Spire, Levy, and
Yeah.
then Eater, I think. Yeah, Eater, because the
Mm,
plates at the start.
yeah.
So the first three raids weren't trioable, but then every raid after was.
Just taking us to the cistern for a bit.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah, yeah, I remember that. I kind of like that though. I kind of like that. Like, what do you think about that when like a raid isn't low manable, like in a sense? What
I
do you
think
think?
it's interesting, but if it's due to like for Levy, for example, it was not doable because of certain mechanics like the running in Gauntlet. I
Yeah,
think that was the only limitation to Trio was Gauntlet.
yeah,
But for like Spire, it being the plates, I think that was a little goofy.
yeah. Having four plates that everyone had to step on. Yeah.
Because if it was just purely because it was like impossible because of how the encounter was formed and not because of like some goofy little plates you had to sit on, then
Mm,
yeah, I'd be okay with it.
mm.
But other than that, I think having some raids that aren't low manable are actually kind of good. And a
I
little
think
funny.
yeah.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna agree. Yeah, yeah. Go on.
A little funny thing about Spire is on Raid Report there was a bug where you could get a trio tag as long
Oh
as you
yeah.
didn't kill ads or any of the pots.
Oh
And
yeah.
so me and a couple of guys on PS4 got the trio tag, and people were like on Reddit, like, "How did they do it? How? And we were
Yeah.
also, I think, the first Last Wish solo tag in air quotations.
Yeah.
And they're like, dude, this only guy got one, like, was the only one who got kills. How did they do it? And it was kind of funny watching like all of Reddit break down and be confused at this tag that was said
Yeah.
to be impossible.
Yeah. That's funny. Wait, so that was a while ago, right? That was
Yeah,
like
that was like years ago.
yeah.
The way we discovered it was we were doing low man scourges, and then we decided to start carrying people through scourge,
Yeah.
and we would have them like sit in places and just not do anything. And it was a run with some of my friends at the time, and they just wanted like scourge loot. And so I
Mhm.
was like, okay, just sit back and play on your phone. We'll chill the raid. And
Nice,
so
yeah.
we
I'll be your
we would
friend.
we would tell them just sit here, sit here, sit here, and we would just say play on your phone. And then we're like, okay, now you can move and sit on your phone. Now you can
Yep.
move.
Yeah.
That was the whole process. And then we checked the raid report dot and we noticed that it said trio, and we were like, we have an idea.
Yeah.
And so we went through with that whole idea.
Nice, very devious. Does that still show up if we go on your raid report?
No, they patched it
Ah,
after
no.
we made it like an announcement to them. We're like, hey, this was a thing. And what I was hoping is that they would give us like a little cheese tag about it, like
Oh
maybe a
yeah, like a little
yellow
memento, something
version
like that. Yeah.
of those tags. So that didn't happen, but we told them and they fixed it.
Nice. All right. The raid report patch. Sad times. Yeah.
Indeed.
Nice.
So with
Yeah.
the speedrun tourney coming up and you
Mm,
participating in it, do you have any plans to speedrun more raids in the future?
I do definitely. Yeah, I think it's something that I want to like sink my teeth into properly. Because like it's just so fun. Like even with the like the few runs that we did, like I was
Hmm.
just having so much fun. Like I think Lowman now I thought like low manning was like the pinnacle of what I could do in Destiny, but like yeah, speedrunning is just so much fun from like the limited amount that I've actually done. I'd love to
Hmm.
just get, like PBs and like my favorite raids and stuff. Definitely want to do more of that. Plus it's great for content.
Yeah.
Post a good PB or like post a world record even. I think
Hmm.
all the world records were like pretty hard to beat, but it's like a newer player to the scene, but maybe one day maybe.
What raid would you want to speedrun after Crota?
Oh, that's a good question. See, well, my favorite raid is DSC, right? But from
Hmm.
what I hear, is that DSC is like pretty difficult, or it's not difficult. It's like RNG, right? Is it RNG heavy with the runs and stuff?
Yeah,
Um,
I think it could be relatively RNG heavy. Like I think especially on like the fuses, because I feel like there's some optimal fuses that you could be hitting, like
hmm.
ending on dark. But
Yeah, of course. Yeah, there's definitely all that, and then the descent,
in
like
Descent, yeah.
descent cores and stuff like that. Yeah, it's exactly. But yeah, DSC will be fun. I actually I even did like a little bit of DSC speeds like way back when it first came out, like when like some of my friends like from my day one team were just like, oh yeah, do you guys want to do some speeds and like mess around? So I was like, oh yeah, why not join in for
Hmm.
that? And that was kind of fun, but I never really did much more of it. The only sort of like speed running that I've dabbled with is you remember like old Lake of Shadows?
Oh yeah.
Like
The
yeah,
that one was fun.
I did that with my friends, like with some IRLs, and like we just like re-ribbed for like a decent time. I think we got like a 530 flat. And I think record at the time was like 430 or something like that. So it wasn't even too far off record, and that was really fun. Um, so I've seen some like GM records that was set this week just because of like the Titan stuff. But yeah, it's definitely fun. I want to get more into it, definitely. But have you been in that scene? Because also I don't know much about you, mate. So what's you been in that scene, the speedrunning scene
Yeah,
for a while?
so I started out on console, and um the way I got into it is, I don't know if you know this Twitch streamer, but Raka, I got into speedrunning because he made a post for Levy speedruns,
Uh huh.
and so I just joined it off of the app and was like, you know what? this is now my moment, you know,
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
into speeds. And
Yeah.
that allowed me to meet a lot of players, and this was like that Scourge of the past, like month after Scourge, where I was like
Yeah.
getting heavily invested into the game. And then I speedran on PS4 for a really long time and managed to, because we would usually compete for raid report times on console
Mm.
specifically. We wouldn't really go for RTA because we felt like it was too out of our league, and we would keep it against consoles. So
Yeah.
we would basically race against the other console teams. And eventually, we got to the point where we were holding all the PS4 records.
Oh
Like that's
wow.
what we dubbed it, the PS4
Nice.
records.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm kind of upset that PS4 was always behind Xbox, but you know, it
Yeah.
was what
Oh
it was.
no. No, not the PS. I was PS4 also before I
Yeah,
moved. Ah, it's a shame, isn't it?
but we held all those records for a bit, and then we came to PC, and my clan I think holds like pretty much the record for Eater, except for the cheaters who are above them,
Oh
and
yeah.
they're tied with Aoterra
Oh
and
yeah.
all
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
boys. But yeah, I've been speedrunning relatively long time, and of course been taking like a bunch of breaks, but now I'm trying to
Mm.
get back into it heavily. Uh
Yeah.
of course running with you guys on Crota, and then at nighttime I'm running with another team on Kingsfall.
Oh yeah. You going for
So
the Kingsfall record?
hopefully, I mean, our sum of best right now is like a 13 something.
What's the record?
It's 12:55. So
Okay.
we need some work, but it could be doable. So I definitely
Yeah.
do want to get back into speedrunning more heavily, and especially RTA instead of API,
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
feel like API is a little bit goofy, especially with all the stuff with like people who limit. And
Yeah. No. No. No,
so
mate. You definitely want to go RTA. I don't. I don't think. If you care about your reputation, I don't know.
yeah, I think most of the stuff on API is goofy, and like when I first came to PC, limit was extremely popular, but it's
Mm.
gotten like tenfold worse with like limiting chaos reach, limiting joining
Yeah.
allies, limiting fourth horsemen and stuff. So I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, it has become from like air quotes soft cheating to
Yeah.
hard cheating.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know much about it to be honest, but I don't really want to mess with it. Me
Yeah.
personally, I'd
I've
rather just
never
stick
really
to.
liked it, but like when I was joining farm runs and stuff back then, I used to just be like, okay, it's whatever. They're just limiting moats or limiting balls. It's whatever.
Yeah.
But I always was like, if I can do it a legit way, why wouldn't I do it like that? Because that
Yeah.
shows more skill than me going to another program and just being like, yep.
Clicking one button. Yeah.
And I also don't get the people who have egos over using a limiter.
Oh
That
yes,
is
that's a whole.
another
That's a
thing
whole
that
separate
confuses me.
can of worms. Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, you can be good and use a limiter, but, like, if you use the limiter and ego those times, like, why? Just
Mm.
do it legit and prove that you're that good player, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. No, I definitely want to get into that. Well, I know that I should hit you up now. Then, if you ever need a space, let me know
Yo,
for any
no,
of your
if you need a
teams.
space, let me in.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
come
I
join
mean,
you.
dude, I'm solo at the moment. No teams under my name, but you know, who knows? Maybe in the future
I
we
usually
can
just
build the
kind
dream
of
team.
I just usually float around and find people.
Yeah, yeah.
I used to
That's
have
what I have to do.
consistent teams, but you know, there's times where they just fall off, and then I'm left alone, and then I go find a new team, and then left
Yeah,
alone again.
stuff happens.
But yeah,
Yeah,
just speedrunning is fun. I enjoy it a lot.
yeah, and especially since like with the YouTube stuff, it's definitely like motivated me more to push more into that, like into the highest like bracket. You know, like where the
Mhm.
game is played, like the most skillfully. I guess I think I've got a ways to go, but yeah, definitely something that I want to get into.
Once you get in the groove and you like start feeling it, and like hitting those PBs and getting those better times, it's like you
Mm.
get this rush of happiness, and it's just so
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
exciting.
I know. No, totally get that. So, oh, we shaved off 10 seconds. Wow.
Yeah,
Good
especially when you
stuff.
get down to the point where it's like literal seconds of you shaving
Yeah.
off your time. It feels so good.
So yeah, we'll
So
definitely be doing more of that.
yeah, so talking about speedrunning, what was the hardest piece of tech for you to learn?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't know all the text to be honest. Like the ones that I don't know are like slipping. I can't slip, right? I can sparrow fly, of course,
Hmm.
which I did learn recently, to be fair. So I'll throw my hands up for that one. But see what else you got? You got whale skating, you got shatter skating, you got
Ground
just like
lining.
ground lining. I've never tried that, to be honest. I never tried like doing it without macro.
Hmm.
And I never used a macro either, to be honest. So I've just never tried it. But I don't know. I guess whale skating. I guess is the one the hardest, even though it's like one of the easiest.
Hmm.
Um, so you got sparrow flying. Took me like a few hours to learn. Um, actually, like fake skating. Like where you tap, like
Yeah.
tap jump and stuff. Actually, I need fucking sword ammo. I'm just gonna go. Where's their flag? Oh, Hallows, whatever. But yeah, fake skating that took a bit of getting used to, I guess. But no, I don't think they all took particularly too long. They weren't all
Hmm.
too difficult. Um, what about you? You'd probably say slipping, right?
I think like the many different forms of slipping are definitely the hardest one for me personally. I still
Mm.
feel like I'm kind of garbage at slipstreaming, which I definitely am. If you like look at the people in 4-dash, like it makes you feel terrible about yourself
Yeah, I've
because
seen some of that stuff. Like,
you'll see
Disher?
them. I don't know many of the 4-dash people. I just know that they're
Uh,
like the insane slippers.
yeah, yeah,
And
exactly.
I've seen some people do like crazy slips, like the tornado slip and like the
Mm.
inverse slip.
Backwards. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's just crazy what they can do, and I'm like, I wish I could do that, but I do not have the dedication to learn it, especially because
Mm,
it's not like as useful in most settings. Like if I was
mm.
doing what is it, agility, right? The DS or the Europa mission, the one where you climb the big
Oh
tower.
yeah, the simulation. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. If I was just trying to do speedruns of that, probably would take the time to learn it, but I feel like it's only useful in certain settings, and if I get like a basic slip down for like DSC and just get used to that kind of stuff, then I'm good.
Mm.
But yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
yeah. I mean,
probably say slipstreaming. That was definitely a hard one to learn, but I feel like I learned that one relatively quick, maybe like
mm.
an hour or two.
Oh, seriously? Only took like an hour?
Yeah, because I had a friend
Damn.
who learned it and was sitting here on Nessus, and so I streamed my Discord to him and was like, "All right, what am I doing wrong?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "Okay, do this, do that," and then I started to like get it, but like comfortably get it. It probably took me like a month to like comfortably like
Yeah, that's what I've
slipstream.
heard. Takes like a month of practice and stuff like that. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. Maybe I'll do that stuff on stream. Good stream content, learning slip
Learn
streaming.
how to slip,
Yeah, yeah.
but
That's because that's like the
I'm
what I'm
still not
missing.
good with it. Like if you lower your frames down to 30, it's a lot easier because of how gravity
Yeah,
affects your
yeah.
sparrow.
The gravity.
But like even then, like I don't know, slipping is still a sore point for me because I'm not the best at it, and like I can't just correct what I'm doing wrong because I just
Mm,
haven't spent the time to learn it. I try to just figure it out on my own when I'm bored and hit some slips.
yeah,
So, going from hardest tech, what was the easiest piece of tech that you learned?
easiest. Well, tell you what, I did enjoy doing the like the fake skating equivalent in Destiny 1. Where you just jump with a warlock and then just like tap jump. You could still do it
Mm-hmm.
like in D2 right before they removed it. I mean, obviously that was pretty easy. That's just
Oh,
jump and press.
you're talking about sword
Yeah,
skating?
yeah, sword skating. Just like classic old.
Mm-hmm.
That's stupidly easy. But D2, I guess. What did I learn first? It was just like Oh, it's I don't know, probably correctly timing your Icarus dash, or honestly, I'll just say like skating, like well skating, shatter skating. Those only took half an hour to an hour to learn. It was pretty easy. Um, yeah, I'd have to go with those to be honest. I think anyone can really do those just with a little bit of
Mhm.
practice.
I mean,
TBH.
I literally taught my roommate yesterday how to well skate because he played
Yeah,
on console, and he
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, "Okay, well, I'm now playing a warlock. I can shatter skate, but you're
Mm,
like the guy that I go to. So how do I well skate?" And I'm like,
mm.
"Well, I don't play controller much, so let's try this." And then he was like, "Okay, I'm failing." I'm like, "Okay, then try this." And then he started hitting it immediately.
Nice, nice.
So I
Yeah,
mean,
it's not
anybody
hard.
can learn
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, definitely not hard at all.
But I remember with my roommate, when Worldline skating was still around, I was like,
Mm.
"Come on, let me teach you guys. Let me teach you guys." Because it was me, him, and another friend, and so I was like, "Let me teach you guys how to Worldline skate." And they're like, "Really?" I'm like, It's easy. Come on, please, please, please." And they got it like second or third try. And I was like,
Yeah,
"See, I told you, you guys could do it."
it's it's piss. It's yeah, it's easy.
But
Um,
the unfortunate thing is, my IRL friends don't like to speed run or do any of that stuff in Destiny.
yeah. Oh yes, yeah, yeah. I know it's the same. It's the same with me. We got the same curse.
So I'm
They
like,
dabble.
no, they do dabble. But yeah, I
Um,
feel like fake skating and skating is relatively easy. Yo, I get my favorite spot. I love the pool. This is my favorite spot in this emote because I little do the
yeah,
tiles.
yeah, yeah, yeah. This emote is so like
It's
ridiculous.
fire.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see this new pumpkin one?
Was it multiplayer? Oh, what the hell?
Yeah,
Jeez. No, I haven't bought any. Oh, because it's reset, right?
yeah.
I haven't got. What's on sale this week? We got a new shader. Fucking. Oh, that Grand Overture ornament is terrible. Miss me with that.
What is it?
Yeah. It's just like it looks just like all rusted and shit. No, that's not for me. Not for me.
That is gross. So what is one thing you would change about the current Destiny 2 meta, and what would it be and why?
Um. Well, I think. Well, I think we all want Well of Radiance to be turned down. I think you can agree with that, surely.
Yeah, I think it's overwhelmingly too
Because it is
strong.
strong. It is strong. Like, what would I do to it? I think I'd just get rid of. I'd get rid of the damage buff. I think that's probably the safest nerf they can do. I think they should just get rid of the damage buff. Maybe turn down the healing like a little bit. Um, like I don't even know the stats on the heal at the moment, but you can out heal a bunch of stuff.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'd definitely get rid of the damage buff. I'd buff bubble as well. Maybe give it 30% at least, not 25. Bring it back to its former glory.
Hmm.
Or even buff banner shield. I don't know. But
Banner Shield's
I'd say
the higher buff right now. I think it's
it
up
is. Yeah, it's 40.
40%.
It's still not worth using though, just because of the like the loss. I guess unless in a few cases, like I just learned recently
Hmm.
that it's good in Goss for Sank if you're like really optimizing. But Um, so that for classes and then like weapons, I guess I think they need to nerf forbearance to a degree. I don't know what they could do to it because it's just so strong. Like
Well, wave frames
like
in general
yeah,
are
waves
just
in
too
general. Like
strong.
but just forbearance above the rest. Like you don't see like new Pacific Epitaph used like everywhere. I mean I know that
Hmm.
can get like decent rolls, but it can't get chain reaction. I don't know. I don't know what they could do to forbearance because it's just like so strong. Like low tier content, it just makes it a breeze. Obviously, even raids and stuff. So they should definitely like touch on forbearance. I
I
remember
know.
watching like a G Miners video about
Mhm.
him saying they should nerf forbearance. I ended up like totally agreeing with that.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah, go on.
actually was using the Pacific Epitaph in the last time we were practicing Crota, because when I went into
Yeah.
that little cubby, I would wave frame with the Pacific Epitaph, and then I
Mm.
would run up to the barrier champ with Fourth Horseman.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I was using it too. Yeah, so it's definitely good. I
It
know
has its
Waveframe's pretty
settings.
strong. Like what else? What else? What else? I don't know. Maybe give GLs like a small buff, like a small nudge. Maybe like a 10%, quick 10% slide in. Um,
They definitely do need another buff.
I think they're decent right now. Like if you can manage to proc surrounded, but um, yeah,
I mean,
definitely well needs a nerf. That's my main.
anything with
That's main.
surrounded is usually good.
Yeah,
Like,
in the right circumstances, of
yeah, in the
course.
right circumstances.
Mhm.
All right. Is there anything else that I saw? Okay, yeah, I had to refine my little line on my
Yeah,
notes here. If you could
yeah, I get you.
make your own raid, what would you want to see in it?
Oh, that's a really good question. Um, if I can make my own raid, all right. Well, I'd need to pick a destination first. I haven't really thought about this, to be fair. Um, but oh, there was an old, I think it was like how, because you know, like how the original vision for Destiny 1 was like totally different. They had
Hmm.
like different story and things like that. I think there was something about how you originally acquired Thorn. You went into some like Warmind Vault,
Hmm.
Charlemagne, something like that. I just can't really remember. There was something about I don't know, like going into like an old Warmind vault somewhere on Earth or something. Going the deeper and deeper you go. I guess it kind of sounds similar to Wrath of the Machine, I suppose. But I
Hmm.
really like Wrath of the Machine, so I don't know. Maybe draw similar elements from that. Have you asked this question to any other people? Like, what have
I
they told you?
G Miners wasn't really sure, but he wanted more mechanical focus, if I
Yeah. Oh,
remember.
yeah, 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 yeah. So I agree on that. Yeah. So I think I'm not terribly creative. So I can't think of anything on the spot right now, but I would definitely think, yeah, it would have to be mechanics oriented. Not like Root of Nightmares where you can have
Hmm.
one person do everything, technically.
Hmm.
Um, I'd want it in a situation. I don't know if this is a hot take, but I wouldn't want it to be low manable. I think I would at least want four people to have to do like a job on every encounter.
Hmm.
I don't know like how they'd have to do that, but I'd kind of want everyone involved because then I don't know that just makes it more fun for me. Like one of my favorite encounters like was Spire of Stars, like Valkor Part 1 and 2, just because like
Hmm.
everyone had a job, everyone had to sort of communicate with each other, flow off each other and stuff. So yeah, something like that. Mechanics heavy. Um Setting. Oh, I don't know. What do I think about setting? What planets have we got in the game right now? Which ones don't have a raid on them? Yeah, they've all got one raid on them. Oh, it's like exploring stuff with eternity would be cool. I always like the nine aesthetic. So
Okay.
something like like the prophecy dungeon and stuff like that. Imagine if they made like the prophecy aesthetic, but like into a raid setting. I think that would be so cool because they could just go crazy with the visuals.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, some prophecy like mechanics oriented. Um, yeah, but
What about enemy type?
enemy type. I would want unique enemies, because I
So
always
new
think
enemy
back
type?
to yeah, like a new or like a variation of, because I think
Hmm.
about berserkers from Scourge, right? They're
Yeah.
fallen, but they're unique. So something like that, something like a special enemy that only appears in the raid that has like a unique mechanic to it or something like that. That's what I like, like tormentors or like lucent hive, some sort of gimmick like that would be cool. And I think Bungie should bring back Berserkers straight up. They haven't used them since Scourge. Like
Hmm.
they're well known for all their like reskinning and stuff, but they haven't brought back Berserkers, like one of the coolest enemies they
They
made.
ripped Briggs from
Mm.
Scourge.
To be fair, anything's possible. They did rip the final boss. Um, so yeah, something like that. I think a new enemy race is maybe a bit far fetched. What raid haven't we had in a while? We haven't had because we haven't had a fallen one in a while, but I
Hmm.
somehow doubt that the next raid is going to be fallen, like Pale Heart
No.
Traveler stuff. It's probably just going to be Taken and Scorn again, uh,
Hmm.
or I don't know. But
With the new enemies, what are they called? Can't even remember.
oh yeah, what the
Stasis and
Subjugators?
Strand
Yeah,
Tormentors.
Yeah, yeah. That's easy enough to remember. Um, hold up. Do you know how to DSM? Because I can take us to Ron if you want.
Yeah, I haven't learned the new one. I can figure it
Yeah,
out.
I don't know it either, but like let's just fucking try it together.
We'll try.
Um, but yeah, have you given that question much thought? Got any ideas of
Um.
your own?
Okay. So I think I've got this fully figured out.
Oh yeah,
So
so yes, you have.
I think I do. So I'm thinking a 6 encounter long raid
Six.
with
What's the most we've have at the moment? Is this
it's
like
Wish,
six, right?
Wish
Yeah.
I think, and I think
Is that
or
six?
Wish or King's Fall because you got the entrance, you got War Priest, you got Gold Daughters,
Mm,
Oryx 5. Last Wish you have Kali, Shuro, Morgith, Vault, Riven Queen's
mm.
Walk at 6. So Wish is the longest one at
Yeah.
6. I ideally would want it Fallen because I feel like Fallen raids are the most fun, as seen
Mm,
by them being my most cleared raid.
mm.
Um,
Where is this?
then I would probably have the entrance encounter um, be something to do with like depositing a ball, kind
Mm,
of like Scourge and Wrath, how they have ball mechanics.
mm,
Um, and then I would probably add that debuff timer that they had with it in Scourge, so you can't pick up the ball as frequently.
yeah.
Then I'd probably have like the
Right.
encounter after opening open up to a boss encounter of some kind, kind of like really
Mm,
get people shaken up and like have
yeah.
it like War Priest level difficulty on day one. I don't know if you did King's Fall day one or completed it,
I
but I feel
did, I
like
did, yeah. Yeah, that's a good like opener, I feel.
yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like that was a good challenge and a good like gateway into the King's Fall run. So I feel
Mm,
like opening up with that like heavy hitting boss would be awesome. And then I would go into like a puzzle kind of encounter, kind of like a vault in a way,
mm,
where you have to like decipher a code of some sort. Because you know the Fallen are like scavengers and stuff. So they like hacked a computer and you're probably like going into a Warmind vault or something. So
mm.
something like that where you have to like break a lock in a way.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I feel like leading into another boss fight right there. Like after you've broken the lock, like something comes crashing in, kind of like Operation Seraph Shield, how the boss rides
Yeah.
down on a shank. So like something like that where the boss just crashes in after you crack the code
Mm,
and they're the one who like was the guy who did the lock thing. So then
mm,
implement that lock mechanic into that. Like he puts up a barrier or something, and then you have to crack the lock to get to damage. So it takes from that previous encounter, and just kind of like stuff like that where you get thrown a boss fight and then encounter, boss fight, then encounter.
mm.
Something like that. I feel like would be really fun.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. There's like doing something intense right off the get-go. I agree. I like those raids. Yeah, definitely.
But that's
Yeah, you should become a
probably
dev.
something I'd do. I want to, man. That would be so fun.
Yeah, make the next raid, the next saga of raids.
I also definitely wouldn't want it to be low manable. I feel like I want that intensity and I want everybody having to do something, like every single
Mm.
person having to have a role.
Even all six, do you think?
Yeah,
Would you give? Yeah.
like
Sheesh, LFG won't like that one.
not just dedicated ad clear, but like you have to clear ads and then you also have to like pick up a buff and like all those kind of things.
Mm.
Cuz then I feel like it would be more inclusive to everybody. Like similar to how totems in D2 now kind of
Yeah.
requires most people,
Mm.
but I mean you can trio it. But like if you're going into your average LFG, it's more like everyone is doing something in that encounter.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like you strictly need 5 people, but having, like 4 or 5 or 6 makes it a lot easier, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
I feel like that would really be interesting, and I also feel like it would be similar in Last Wish levels of difficulty, like only two teams completing it.
Yeah, I'd love to see another day one where like very little teams actually beat it, but I don't think we will, sadly.
I feel like the players have also gotten just significantly better since
Yeah,
those
yeah,
times. I feel like if Wish came back out with how everyone is able to play now,
yeah.
that it wouldn't be too bad for most players. I feel like we could probably see like maybe 5, 6 hours cut off of that.
Yeah, it's interesting to think like how those old raids would fare if they came in now. I still think it would be like pretty difficult because obviously they'd give the
Hmm.
bosses like a ton more health and stuff. Um, but yeah, it would be so cool to see another one. I mean, to be fair, with Crota's End, I think statistically Crota was like, the least completed compared to Goss, I think it was.
Hmm.
Which is pretty crazy. Coming off the back of Root of Nightmares,
Oh my god,
where
Root
like
was so easy.
so many people like, oh, don't get me started on Root of Nightmares, man. I hope they never make a day one like Root of Nightmares ever again. I think it's just
Yeah.
far too easy. Takes away all of the spirit of the challenge and all that. Just not for me.
In our day one route, we literally had four people basically doing damage on Nezarek because we had two
Yeah,
people running Eager Edge just to be as fast as possible for those like the nodes.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it was not that hard because we two phased with basically four people doing damage.
Mm.
So definitely needs a lot more difficulty than what Root was. And I feel like Crota was relatively good difficulty. Like I don't feel like it was too bad. I mean, maybe tone down Crota's like how he tweaks around and walks around too much.
Yeah, yeah. It's like Crota and Nezarek. They seem to have this sort of
Hmm.
this just janky move set where they just fuck around. But um, yeah, it's yeah, not Root of
But
Nightmares,
I
please.
don't think we're gonna get any more stationary bosses for final bosses anymore. Like I feel
No,
like they're all
you're
gonna be
right.
moving.
They've definitely set that trend. I think. I think they
Hmm.
went a bit overboard with Nezarek on that regard. Um, because like, where do you think Bungie intended people to stand for damage? Do you think they genuinely like designed it to in their they were thinking that players would just sort of move around the arena away from him constantly? I don't know. I feel like that's what they were going for,
I
but
think so too, but like
mm,
I think they were trying to do Rolk 2.0, but it just did not work.
yeah, because they saw that
Like,
everyone liked Rogue.
hmm I just don't think it worked. And especially with the like platforms that were at different levels and knowing that enemies can't just like jump up and have
Mm.
the AI pattern to know, hey, let me get up here. And if Nezarek even did, I feel like swords would have been the meta for him too.
Yeah,
Because
true. Actually,
I think on day one, or well, not even day one, I think like after day one, because rockets were just so oppressive anyway
mm.
in the DPS meta, that I think after day one, I tested out Lament and was like, oh, this isn't that bad. And just kind of like started fooling around because the raid was like so easy.
Yeah. I mean, you saw. I think it was like Greppo, Sweat, and them. They did a flawless clear on contest mode. I think that's the
Hmm.
first time that's happened. That's just bonkers. Like that shouldn't happen.
And
That's just so
solo
silly.
encounters, trios were being done.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Like full trio, whatever it was. I can't
Hmm.
even remember. It's just ridiculous. Not to say that I don't. Not to say that I dislike Root of Nightmares. I like Root of Nightmares. I think it's quite a fun raid to run. It's got that fun factor.
Hmm.
But day one experience, different story, in my opinion.
I mean, it was fun to just be in and out real fast and like just like the relief of it not being too bad.
Yeah,
Like instead of those nightmare like 12, 13 hour day ones.
yeah, yeah. Like the craziest thing was like we finished and we were like, oh, it's not even a new date because in the UK reset
Hmm.
is, well, I think when was it? Root came out. So it would have been 5 p.m. But I think the raid came out at 6 anyway. So yeah, it was 6 p.m. when the raid came out in the UK, and we went to bed at like we finished at like 11. You know, it was a 5 hour clear, and I was like, what? It's
Yeah,
unheard of. Day
ours
one.
was like 4 hours or something, like
Hmm.
4 hours and 30 minutes.
Yeah, where did you guys
It was
place? Just out of curiosity, because I know it really made
we
a
got
difference.
149.
Oh wow, yeah, that's huge. Because we I think ours took us like 5.5 hours, and we came it was like 430 something. Um,
Mhm.
and yeah, there's only like an hour difference between mine and yours, and that's like hundreds of places only in an hour, which shouldn't be the case, you know?
We were exactly like 3 places above Datto.
Oh seriously?
Yeah. So I was like,
Oh, that's funny.
yes, let's go. Big
Yeah,
accomplishment.
that's the other thing that I think is a bit of a shame because Datto was like the only player in the world that had like a top 100 for like every single raid, but
Hmm.
then Root of Nightmares just squashed that, sadly.
Yeah. I have mad respect for Datto. Like he's been
Oh
there
yeah,
and I feel like he deserves a world's first, but
I
like
know. I'm
with
always rooting for him.
with the amount of players there are and like how good those players are, and no shame to Datto's skill level at all. I feel like it's
Mm,
just not possible
mm.
because like they're just like so good, like insane levels of players.
Yeah, it's definitely been like populated by the like more speedrunners and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So it's more fierce competition these days. I feel like how
The
back
low
back in
manners
the
and
day.
like people who take data spreadsheets like Aegis and
Mm,
all that and just know like all the good stuff.
mm,
It's definitely crazy
mm.
what they go to like understand the game. It makes
Yeah.
me feel like I have less of an understanding now than what I did like maybe a year or two ago
Mm,
because people broke down like pretty much everything so much with like the data compendium, Aegis's spreadsheets for damage and
mm.
all that.
I've always got a tab of the compendium open, just in
I
my
have it like
Chrome.
bookmarked on my favorites
Yeah, yeah.
because
It's
I
just
use
nice
it
to
so
have.
much when I come up with builds and like different
Mm,
ideas.
exactly. Just sort of brainstorming and stuff.
Hmm. It's a good resource. Like probably one of my favorite Destiny tools, even though it's
Mm,
just an Excel sheet.
mm. No, well, it's a well presented Excel sheet.
Yeah, it's very insane, and it gets
Mm,
updated like pretty frequently.
mm. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So, how do you feel about the state of Destiny right now?
Um, well, I don't think it's dead. I think the game's in a good spot right now. People
Hmm.
probably, I don't know how people would really react to that question. I think the game's in a good spot. Um, like I think despite all the stuff that went on like around Season of the Deep, it was still like a decent season, like on its own, like in a vacuum. And then obviously now we have. I think this season was like a little bit weaker. I think the story was just like really dry. But like game as a whole, I still think it's pretty good. Uh, but I am sort of I'm not skeptical of the final shape, but I'm not sort of expecting grand things. I'm keeping my expectations low, basically,
Hmm.
for Final Shape. Obviously, I'll still keep playing it no matter what. Like, so it
As
doesn't
we always
really,
do.
yeah, it doesn't really matter that much if it's shit or not. Like, even I even enjoyed Lightfall. Like, despite all its problems, I still enjoyed Lightfall quite a lot. Like, at least when it first came out. Um, but I think it's in a decent spot right now, and they can elevate it to a great spot, provided the final shape is good, because they need to end with a bang and not a whimper. Hopefully. Fuck. Yeah. What do you think? Do you think it's dead? Do you think we're all right?
Uh, I definitely feel better about the state of the game right now, more so than I did in Season of the Deep. Because in
Hmm.
Season of the Deep, I just had like next to zero motivation to play the game or do anything in the game. Like
Yeah, that's understandable.
everything, everything felt like just not fun. Like I didn't feel like doing any raids, which
Mm.
nothing really changed much. So I was like, well, why don't I feel like doing any raids? I usually like doing raids.
Mm.
So I just kind of felt like the game was stale, kind of boring, and so it was just not my thing at that moment.
Yeah, yeah, I get you. So like right now, what are your thoughts?
I think it's good. I feel like the game's in a decent state right now, but I feel like it could be just a tiny bit better. Like the meta, I feel like needs to
Yeah.
change. We've been in rocket ability spam meta for
Yeah.
far too long, and it's kind of hard to balance around galley and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I should have mentioned Galahorn. Like, what are they going to do about Galahorn? Like, I know now that they like accidentally fixed like the Wolfpack chunking and stuff.
Mhm.
Um, so, but it's just so strong. Like, I was thinking, like, how could they nerf Galahorn? Like, maybe it would only give Wolfpack rounds to like one or two people instead of the whole team at random or something like that. I'm not sure. But I agree though, the meta has to change. But what could it change to? I don't know. Yeah, we've had
Mhm.
linears, we've had GLs, we've had rockets.
Ooh,
Like
I
what
have
now?
actually. I just theory crafted this off the top of my head.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so you know how with like Lumina you have to get kills to buff people, right?
Mm.
So what if you had to get like galley kills to get Pack
Yeah.
Hunter?
Yeah. So not every rocket gave Pack Hunter, only
Hmm.
like certain ones did. I don't think that's a bad solution to be fair.
Like you
Because
have to get a rocket kill before you're able to get Pack Hunter. I feel
yeah,
like
or
it
like
kind of also fits the
a yeah,
name
yeah.
too.
Or like a meter, like if you had to fill up this meter, and when the meter's full, you get to give wolf packs to your team. Like, oh, you only get to use it once or something like that. I don't know,
Hmm.
you know. Um, but
Still keep
yeah,
that like timer and everything.
mm. Yeah. But yeah, the meta should change to what? I have no idea. We'll see what the final shape balance patch has to say about that. Swords, maybe swords back in the limelight. I don't know.
That'd be awesome.
Like one of my favorite metas was what was it? It was Witherhoard, Ikelos SMG plus Falling Guillotine. That was the time. Season of Arrivals
Hmm.
meta. Love that. Love that. It was one of my favorite metas. Just running around with a sword.
My personal favorite was Season of Dawn's meta because
Which one
like
was that? Was that like Recluse Anarchy
it,
Witherhoard? Was that?
yeah, Recluse, Anarchy, Witherhood, Mountaintop, all
Mm,
that stuff, and like that's when I feel like the game was at one of its best states, like PVE and
mm.
PvP, personally.
Yeah.
But I,
No,
I
I enjoyed
always
that.
I always have good memories about Dawn because I felt like it was like probably a golden age for speedrunning.
Yeah. Yeah, do you think so?
Yeah. Especially since like well, I guess Arrivals was also really good too, because Arrivals was like the end of a era with all those raids going away.
Yeah. RIP.
Like I remember Levy Week. I feel like there was like probably 50 plus teams running Levy Week on the last week.
Yeah.
So
Must have
I
been a
feel like
rush.
it was a rush because new strats were getting developed like daily on the last week. So you'd have to learn the new strat like the next day that your team ran, and
Yeah.
it was like, oh, okay, we have to do this. It's
Yeah.
like it's like rolling a
You were on a
dice.
timer. Yeah.
It was like rolling a dice, and you like, I have to roll a six, and you're
Yeah.
like, what do you
Ah.
mean you have to roll a six? No, you don't understand. I need to roll this six.
I would love to be a part. I would have loved to have been a part of that rush. Yeah.
Because Levy only came around every 6 weeks to be the ideal speedrunning week.
Oh, because of the rotation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you had to
Because what
wait,
was
and
the optimal rotation?
it was Gauntlet, Dogs, Pools.
Okay.
So you'd start in Gauntlet, hit the Oob, do the 4-man Gauntlet with the two people outside, yada yada yada. Do the Dogs. I believe that was a no spore Dogs, if I remember correctly.
Oh yeah. It just got so good to
And
that point.
then pools, you'd have one guy skip, and then 5-man pools, and then that's where I think one of the new strats came out is the skip, because you would take the door to Castellum,
Hmm.
and you'd kind of just like wait so you didn't get joining allies, but people figured out that you could cut the joining allies. by running up to the door. And so you'd run up to the door and cut the joining allies and skip to Callus, and then your team would leave and rejoin pretty much immediately because you'd be
Nice.
waiting at Callus.
Yeah,
But
it's a
yeah,
shame.
that was, I feel like, the golden age of Destiny 2 speedrunning is like a Rivals Dawn era.
Yeah.
But I also could be a Destiny boomer and be
Yeah.
overthinking it.
Yeah. Maybe it's the nostalgia talking. I'm
It
not sure.
could
I
be.
wouldn't know. I was not in that community at the time. I
I don't
was a
know.
casual gamer.
The good old days for me.
Mm, definitely.
It could also be different times because I was like 17. So
Yeah.
still in school
Yeah,
and stuff.
same. Yeah, I just had stuff going on. Like, I just couldn't take it like serious as I can now. School and stuff,
Yeah,
gets in the way. Gets in the way of the grind.
indeed. School. I also think it helped because what? It was around COVID time, right? That Arrivals came out, or just a little bit before,
um.
or like near the tail end of it.
Yeah. When did Arrivals come out? It was like July 2020. Yeah, because it was before Beyond Light. Yeah, it was like July
Mm-hmm.
2020. Yeah.
Well, no,
R-
I think it was just before COVID, like just before. So the summertime.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess that's also a bit of nostalgia for me because I had more time to play and nothing
Mm.
to really do.
Yeah, definitely. I was just like during COVID, it was just like wake up, play games,
Go to
repeat,
sleep.
go to bed. Yeah, literally.
Wake up, go to sleep, Destiny. Wake up, go to sleep,
Yeah,
Destiny.
exactly. Destiny 1, Destiny 2 didn't matter.
Nothing else mattered, just Destiny.
Hmm. Oh my god, I'm getting sucked into the no.
So when playing Destiny, how do you handle burnout or fatigue
Um,
of just playing?
well, there was there was only one time that I really took a significant break,
Mhm.
and that was in season 2, Curse of Osiris.
Oh, yeah.
I actually switched to Warframe, believe it or not. I went into I put about 400 hours into Warframe. Um, and honestly, there was one day when I was just playing Warframe and I was like, why am I doing this? This is so pointless. I've never felt that way about a game, but I just completely dropped Warframe because I think I just burnt myself out on that, and I've never played it again since. That was the only time that I've sort of stopped playing Destiny like for an extended period of time. After that, I came back in Warmind because Warmind looked promising, and to be fair, Warmind like was all right as far as DLCs go. But I've taken breaks like here and there, but I always log on like at least like once a week. I think because like I don't play it terribly often, and especially these days, the only times I really get on is to like get clips for videos, or if it's the Crota running or whatever it is. But
Hmm.
actually, like for the past 2 weeks, I've barely actually just played the game for the sake of playing it. So I don't know. I haven't really felt extreme burnout with Destiny. I don't know. I don't know if you have.
I've definitely had my phases of burnout
Yeah,
with Destiny, like Season of Deep,
yeah, I can imagine.
Osiris. I don't think I had burnout all the way up through Beyond Light, and before that, I think I was on a roll pretty much the whole way through. I think a little bit in Shadowkeep era that I had
Hmm.
some burnout, like probably like near the start when all my friends came to PC. So I think I had burnout there. Then yeah, I don't think I've
Hmm.
had that much. I guess Destiny 1 after the April update, I burnt out from
Yeah,
Destiny.
yeah. I stopped playing. I can't remember when I stopped playing Destiny 1. It was like there was one point where I just had enough or something, but that was a while ago. Can't quite remember. But no, I think I've kept my relationship with Destiny 2 like relatively healthy to the point where like not it's not like it gets to the point where I'm like I can't take this anymore or that sort of thing. Um so yeah. Right now, how do I feel? Like right now I don't particularly have a reason to log on, to be fair, outside of, what we've organized and stuff.
Hmm.
So I guess now you could say that I'm not really sure what to do, like on the game, but that's that's when you start inventing reasons to get on, speedrunning, low mans, and stuff like that.
Well, I also feel like the seasonal model needs to change. We've had it for
Yeah,
uh too long.
yeah. Since Black Armory, it's been roughly the same
Yeah.
or about the same.
I feel like Black Armory and stuff like that, those were like mini DLCs
Mm.
because you had like more story in them, I feel like with the Niobe labs and stuff.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, Niobe Labs is one of my favorite activities.
But I don't like this weekly drip fed content where it's kind of
No.
go go talk to this person, go do the seasonal activity, go do the
Mm.
seasonal mission, go talk
Yeah.
to this person. And
Receive this radio message.
it's the
Like,
same thing, different story.
yeah. Same shit, different day.
Yeah. So that's definitely something that is a point for me to be like, yeah, this is not fun. This is not what I want to do.
Yeah, it's just repetitive. It's like, you can predict, like, even though they said that they were, changing things up with Season of the Deep and Season of the Witch and then whatever the next one's going to be, it's still sort of at its core
The same
similar.
thing. Hmm.
Yeah. Like, I mean, we don't have any more, what was it, 3x7 upgrade grids, which is nice, but
Hmm.
that's transformed into challenges now and things like that. But I mean, yeah, like you say, with the Black Armory year, like I think that was the most amount of raids we had in one year, right? It was three
Hmm.
because you had Last Wish, you had Scourge, and then Crown to top it all off, and
Yeah,
that was crazy.
you had Joker's Wild as your break season,
Yeah.
and even then, Joker's Wild is when we got Prof, isn't it?
No, that was Arrivals.
Arrivals.
Yeah, yeah. No, Joker's Wild was Gambit Prime.
Oh yeah, that was a a thing.
I respect it because it was like they experimented, right? They took a gamble, no pun intended, and it didn't really pay off. I thought like the idea of Gambit Prime was kind of cool.
Hmm.
But I'm not really one to talk about Gambit, to be honest. I don't really engage with it. It can be fun though, but yeah, it was experimental, which is what I admire. And then you had all those weird lore missions, like the ones where you go to like eternity and stuff.
Hmm.
Playing as the Drifter, and you had all those odd cutscenes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Joker's Wild still was probably good too. Just the state of Destiny in that time, I felt like was nice. I didn't
yeah,
particularly hate it.
yeah,
I
yeah,
also
exactly.
always had something to do then because that's like the start of my speed running.
Yeah, you
So
always had a reason to hop on.
yeah, that
Mm,
I don't have anything bad to say about those 3 seasons really.
mm, exactly. Out of the three, the Joker's Wild was the one that I played the least. But yeah, I think out of those three, my favorite was probably Opulence,
Opulence was
Forge, and
amazing.
Joker's in that order.
I like
Mm.
Opulence a lot because the menagerie was really nice. The tribute hall was amazing.
Oh yes,
I think
rip
I
the
have at
tribute hall.
least like 200 hours in the tribute hall alone.
Yeah,
I mean, that's probably an
that's how it
over
gets.
exaggeration, but like I spent so much time just sitting in the tribute hall, skating around when I was bored, and just was
Yeah.
like, "Yep, this is what I'm doing with my time."
Hmm. Yeah,
And
they
I
need to
think that
bring something like
also
that back.
helped with my like consistency and speeds. Like I wouldn't
Mm.
mess up on what I was doing because I've
Yeah,
already
it's a nice
practiced
area to
like my
practice. Mm.
skates and like all that, and made sure that like I could do different skates off of different objects, and just
Mm.
kind of jumped around and skated until my heart was content, and then people got on for speeds. Or
Exactly.
if somebody was online, we'd go practice something like Spire of Stars. I don't know, did have you seen the Titan ball fly in Spire of Stars where they use the
Uh,
death from above melee?
I probably did, but it's been such a long time. You'd have to
So
show me a clip.
yeah, let me get a clip for you. uh Titan ball fly Spire of Stars. Yes, I found it. Okay.
Nice.
So let me drag this over to this monitor so we can get that on the recording.
Okay.
So back on console, like next to nobody could do this. And I think
Mm.
I spent like 16 hours with another friend because uh we were trying to invent new ways to do the skip.
Oh
And
yeah.
so I spent so much time practicing this on console and like next to nobody was getting it on console because it was just like so weird to do. And people were like, "No, only PC can do it. Like it's going to be hard for you on console. You're never going to hit it." And I'm like, "Okay, I will spend this time to learn this." And
Yeah, yeah.
so I
Motivated.
spent like an ungodly amount of hours in here just learning
Mm.
this. And I think it was mainly because of this end part right here
Hmm.
because you have to throw it in the room and then you have to get that melee and then land right here.
Oh wow. Wait, play that back again? I want to see it again.
This part,
Yeah, yeah, just that final bit.
I'd throw it into like the top left corner, but you had to make sure that ball didn't fly out and be like right by that door.
That's so impressive. Like that's crazy.
But I spent so many hours practicing that, and so it was
Mm.
definitely something when I hit it, and then like it was just useless after a while because there was new
No.
strats that were developed. I was like, I wasted my time, but I learned it.
Yeah. Time
But
you enjoyed wasting. You could flex it
yeah,
to me in the future, years later.
years later, it was
Exactly.
useful all along, young
Yeah.
Delta.
This is what it was for. That's cool
But
though.
yeah, that was something to learn and
Mm.
like spend my time on in that era of speedrunning. So a lot of different things. Oop,
Mm.
wrong tab. All right. So, we talked about burnout and that.
Mm.
What are your long-term goals as a Destiny player? Is there any goal you were trying to reach as a player?
Um, yes, there is one goal that I've wanted for the longest time, but I still don't have, which is
Is
a
it to be
top
the very
100.
best?
Well,
Like no
that
one ever
and
was.
it's also to have a top 100 raid placement. I'd love to have one of those. I've always wanted one, and I haven't got one. And hopefully, one of these days, I've been working to try and get that. That's like one big goal. Just to have a, you know, that little badge on raid report. The
Hmm.
100 number whatever. I don't care. Closest I've ever got was with Vault Glass, where we got 241st.
Hmm.
And ever since, yeah, just been trying to get that. That's like the main goal. I guess now with wanting to do speedrunning, a world record would be cool. In a raid. If there's
Hmm.
any speedrunning that I wanted to dabble with, it would be raids, not missions. Maybe dungeons, but raids. Yeah, I'd be on that. Um, yeah, that's the main goal.
That's a pretty good goal. I think G Miners also had a very similar goal. Like,
Yeah, he's got
uh,
it though, hasn't he? He got top 100 crypt, right?
well, I think he was saying for a top 50-ish placement,
Ah, yeah, yeah, top
but
50.
it was a similar goal. So that I feel like that's a lot of like Destiny players' ambitions, especially if they're playing PvE, is to get a placement.
Yeah, it's one of the big ones.
So I feel like that's a reasonable goal for like most people.
Yeah,
And
mate. Yeah.
I'm actually kind of curious, like for those people who have gotten to worlds first, like what is their goal? Like
Yeah, well, you
what
should get one. You
motivates
should get one
them?
on this. Get one on this, and then
Yo,
ask them.
Salt, come here.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
next. Come on.
Dude, just ask
Some
him. You should
somebody
like.
ping
That's a
Salt.
really interesting question to ask. But yeah, what do they want to do in the game? They'll probably tell you that they've done it all already,
Yeah.
or like they'd
The
probably say like world record in this or that or something like that.
pinnacle Destiny players.
Mm, exactly.
There's end game and like end game.
Yeah, yeah. There's such a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Or what's it called? Skill ceiling. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. but it doesn't feel like it's that far, but like it like is that far.
It is, yeah. No, I agree 100%. Oh, ice.
So Llama's gotten 2 3 orbs so far.
Yeah, keeping track for the viewers.
Llama 2 well skates. What
Washed.
no.
Yeah, Llama
Llama however
D2
many.
well skates missed. That's me.
But yeah, I feel like that's a good goal. I feel like I also have a very similar goal of that.
Hmm.
I want to get a top 50, top 100 placement. I feel like the lower.
Mm.
Oh my god, I just got like one tapped.
You got your underlight bond on or something?
Do I? No, I just
Oh
I
no.
collided. I collided with the tree, and then the captain shot
Ah.
me. But yeah, I feel like that's a goal that most players have, and probably just keep improving, keep getting better, keep doing better.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. What's the best placement you've got then?
Root.
Yeah, I was root. Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah,
fair enough. To be fair, like I think like what would you say it was 147, right? What was that? What you said?
149, just under
149.
150.
Yeah, yeah. So like, I still think that's really impressive because
Hmm.
think about it, the amount of people that completed root, yeah, crazy for you to get top 150 even. Like, because in any regular raid, that would be top 100 easily.
Hmm. I feel like though with Root, if we didn't have the mess up on planets, because we immediately had planets basically.
Mm.
Um, but then after we had the index planet reveals itself, we were like, okay, what now? And just got completely
Yeah,
lost. And then we
yeah.
sat into an MS Paint and we're like, okay, what if we had to send these 2 planets to that side and those 2 planets to this side? And we're overcomplicating it. And so we were like, wait, no, 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 no. We need to go back to what we were doing. So
Yeah.
I feel like if we didn't mess up there, didn't hit the soft lock on second encounter right at the very end, because we got second encounter like first or second try or something,
Mm. Yeah, yeah.
and then we got soft locked at the very end. So, and we didn't think of the colony or anything to do the kill.
Oh yeah. Oh, you got that glitch. Oh, that's
Yeah,
unfortunate.
so we were like, fuck, we got to do it again.
Yeah,
So we
yeah.
did it again, and then we got to planets, and then we had that time lost there. And so we were like, okay, this sucks, but whatever. We get through it.
Hmm.
Then we get to Nezarec. We cook that. We are like, okay, well, damage is easy. 2 eager edges.
Mm.
You on div. Boom. Done. Game over. Raid done. And we're like, that was it.
Yeah, that was it. That was literally the same feeling that I had. It was like that was it. Yeah.
That's day one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's the original raid for the next year. Wowza.
So yeah, I feel like placement would be good. I feel like we could have placed on route, but we were not fully locked in, I guess. But I
Mm.
feel like we were locked in just the right amount to at least
Oh
do
yeah, it was
very
still
well.
decent. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like I
Definitely.
definitely don't discredit that day one at all. I'm very happy with how everyone performed in it, and like
Yeah, yeah.
in the longer day
Should be.
ones, like it's so easy for people to get mad at each other, and we were just talking and having fun the whole time instead of like getting mad at anything. I feel like it got
Yeah, yeah.
frustrating at planets, but we got over that real quick after we completed it.
Yeah, that's how it should be. I think. Yeah. Anytime someone starts getting frustrated, like stuff just starts happening. People lose interest and this and that, and it all goes tumbling down.
So,
What
what
inspired me to
inspired
do the
you
Raid
to
Master
the Raid
series?
Mastery series?
Um. Well, I'd kind of just I'd run out of well, to be honest, I'd kind of run out of ideas of what to put on YouTube. I knew that I didn't want to do like, quick fire videos forever because like
Hmm.
most of my videos before that were just, anywhere between 2 and 5 minutes, just a sort of quick bit of information, that sort of thing.
Hmm.
And I didn't want to turn into like a channel that just posts sort of small, informative, bite-sized pieces here and there. I kind of wanted to develop into more um, in-depth stuff, and I actually got inspired somewhat by Aegis's what was it called? Damage in Destiny series. You know, where he breaks down the
Hmm.
topic, breaks down like a wide topic over like several videos, dedicating like several minutes to it. And I just thought, hey, I love the raids. I know like a pretty good amount about the raids. I could turn this into a series. Like, when just running, like when you run a raid and you come into an encounter and you're like, oh, how can I do this the fastest? And stuff like that. It's just, people like players like me and you, we know a lot about that topic, how
Hmm.
to do things quickly. And I don't really see like lots. I never saw any guys on YouTube saying like, "Here's how you actually do this raid. Here's how you actually," or like, "Here's how people do it." Like in modern times, because strategies change so much
Yeah.
over the years. And yeah, I just thought it'd be cool to like start a series covering that. I mean, in terms of like viewership, it's not like doing the greatest at the moment because I feel like a lot of my viewers knew me for my shorter content.
Hmm.
Um, but so like they may have been like just a bit more turned off with this new stuff that I'm experimenting with. But I mean, I'm having a lot of fun making them, and I'm probably going to do the same for the dungeons. And in a way, it's also like a learning process for me because obviously I didn't know everything. There's a bunch of
Hmm.
stuff that Mike was helping me with, learning things like this and that, stuff that I just didn't know. So yeah, it's been pretty fun. Um, and yeah, I just really enjoy doing it.
Have you
That
watched
series.
Agus's speedrunning insights on Vow?
Is that? Oh, it's one of his older videos, right?
Uh,
It's one of his
yeah,
really old videos.
I think it was probably when he was just like when he just started uploading consistently on YouTube, other than
Mm.
his speedruns.
Actually, yeah, I think I did start watching like a bit of it. Yeah, yeah. I think it was a while ago though, but yeah, that's a sort of similar thing, isn't it? Just
Hmm.
I think because the way that I sort of choose to approach it is that I don't want the things that I mention in there to be like too advanced, so that
Hmm.
like most LFGs can at least sort of try it, like pre-plating on Shurichi, for example. Like that's
Yeah.
pretty easy to do for your average LFG, like as long as you know how to do it.
Hmm.
And then I mean, even with the garden video, like I uploaded the skips just because I thought they were cool. I just thought it was just worth
Yeah.
showing off as well. So I didn't want to, obviously, because I haven't done speedrunning. I can't really speak on that side of it. So I'd sort of
Hmm.
lean more onto the tricks and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, yeah, I'm just like doing them.
I kind of like how we also kind of had the same idea around the same time because
I
the
excuse you. I
Crota
saw your
video.
Crota video. Yeah, how to do the
Yeah.
Crota video faster. I
Yeah.
promise you, I did not copy you. I
No, no, no.
promise.
It's okay, man. It's okay. But we had similar ideas, and
Mm,
I was like, okay, well, I'm already like doing a bunch of LFG Crotas. Might as well like share what I'm doing.
mm,
So I was like, friends, please come help me make this video. Smile.
mm. Yeah, or maybe I can get you to come help do the Crota one when I get around to that. Not
Yeah.
long left, because that'll be the last one that I do. Um,
Give
because what have
time
I got
for
next?
more
I've got
strats to develop.
yeah, exactly. Because yeah, I wanted to leave it last just in case there was something. Because what sword duping was just discovered.
Hmm.
So um,
But I'm pretty sure it
yeah,
doesn't do anything from what I've read from Zero.
yeah, I'm not sure about it. I think it because I was talking to Mike about it. It's like the main time save is just like the time it takes to kill the gatekeeper and then like waiting for it to come out and stuff like that. I think that's what it saves. I'm not sure, but I looked into it too much. But yeah, we'll do Crota last, and then next is Vogue, and then Vow after that, and then Crota. So yeah,
Yeah, I've been watching them. I've been getting entertained by
yeah,
them and like
yeah, nice.
looking at
Thank
different
you.
things about it. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
probably a lot
That's
that you already knew, but yeah.
yeah. Like your Root of Nightmares one. That one was pretty
Mm,
good. I like that one.
mm,
And then I know you read the comment that I put on it
mm.
and about the 1-2 transition for Titan.
Yes, yeah, yeah. I just obviously hadn't looked into that.
Hmm.
But it's just yeah. I think the reason why I wouldn't have included something like that is just because it's kind of long, like for the
Hmm.
sake of the video. It's not like not as quick as the Warlock one, but yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking of making a video after they're all finished, where it's just like a summary video of the things that I missed for each of them. So I'll go
Mhm.
raid by raid, listing off things that people pointed out in comments and stuff that I missed, just to sort of top things all off. So I could definitely go back and include that in like the Ron section of that video when
Mhm.
that comes out. Um, but yeah, definitely.
But it is an entertaining series, and it's definitely
Thank
helpful
you.
because there's not any, well, not many forms of content like that on YouTube helping
Yeah,
out the players. I mean, there's
yeah,
the
yeah. Well, thank you.
docs that are out there to help people get into speedrunning, but I feel
Yeah,
like YouTube hits a wider audience
yeah. It's nowhere near
versus
as
like
approachable. The docs, nowhere
the
near.
Discord docs. So yeah, it's good what you're doing. Like
Thanks, man.
I enjoy it, and I feel like a lot of other players are going to enjoy it. Like when it gets
Yeah.
more spread to the community and more people
Hopefully,
decide to
hopefully.
look at it in their feed.
Hopefully every time like said featured raid like is on that week, that guide, gets a bit more traction, every now and then. So
Hmm.
they keep the wheels turning as even as time goes on. That's the idea. But yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, I am
Yeah.
now out of questions, so
Nice.
we have
We made it to
answered
the
it.
end.
We've talked all the questions.
Yeah.
Thanks for humoring me in doing this.
Yeah,
It's
no,
been fun.
I hope my answers were decent, not too dry.
No, they were horrible. I hated them all.
Let's redo it.
Run it back and got to
Yep.
re-answer it. Got to follow this new script. But
Yep.
it's
Yep.
always
That
fun
was
to
all
have
scripted,
these.
guys.
It's always fun to have these conversations that just get sparked out of nowhere.
Yeah, yeah, no,
Like
definitely. I agree.
ask the
It's a great
questions
idea.
and then just go.
Yeah, yeah,
So
exactly. I look forward to seeing like who you get on this actually. I'll
yeah,
watch these like when I go gym and stuff. I'll just whack these on. Mark my words.
yeah. I'm gonna go find more people to do this and
Yes,
hopefully get
yes.
everybody on this train of letting me interview them and ask
Yeah, yeah,
silly
yeah.
questions.
Dude, ask Saltagrepa. You should actually ask him next.
Salty Grappa is the next choice. You know what?
Just
That's
ask
what I
him.
should
Like
do.
what
That's
what are you
that's what I
gonna what
should
are you gonna
do.
lose? What are you gonna lose? Like you
Yeah,
might as
nothing
well.
actually. But
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
could start going through content creators and then have the other content creator pick who my next one is.
Yes. Yeah. Oh,
Be
that's
like,
not a bad idea.
all right, who
Yeah,
is
yeah.
next up on the roster? Who are you
Yeah, you
voting?
decide. Nice.
So yeah, it was a great talk.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
I'm definitely a smaller creator, but for those watching from my end, go sub to Llama, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah, yeah. Appreciate
And
it. Go
if
sub to
people are
Delta.
from Llama, of course, come over here.
What
So
up?
yeah,